How's it going, everybody? Back in the garage again. Not sure how this is going to look. I'm filming on my iPhone right now. My other camera is not only at home, but if you look at the last few videos compared to maybe the videos from last summer, I feel like the clarity is just really off. I dropped it like pretty hardcore like a few weeks ago, or a few months ago rather, and ever since then I just feel like the autofocus is really off and it makes everything kind of blurry. But working on the Sentra again, gotten a lot done, kind of behind the scenes, off camera, and this video finally gonna start like putting everything back together. So I figured it would be a really good point to pick back up with everybody and bring you all along for the rebuild process, or whatever you want to call it. Not really rebuild and rebuild anything. The revamp. Yeah, bring you all along for what we got going on now. I did have to get, this is a different transmission than what I had previously. My other transmission's over here on the shelf because, see right in the center of the screen there, right at the tip of my flashlight, that is a big old crack that extends through the front of the housing here, right there, and there you could see, and kind of the right side of the screen in the corner, it extends all the way into the corner and down through the case. That's a really hard spot to have welded, and since you have to have the axle seal right there, I feel like that would have to be like machined pretty perfect again to get the proper seal. What I ended up doing was going ahead and just getting another transmission. So once I got the new transmission, I had already previously ordered, I don't know if you can really tell, but brand new plug for, I think this one is the neutral position switch. And then back here, another brand new plug for the reverse backup lamp switch. Two new switches, or sensors, or whatever you want to call those, I ordered. Backup lamp is cheap, Rock Auto. Neutral position is OEM Nissan. I have two new Nissan axle seals in here from the dealer. The reason I had to take this transmission totally apart is it had a manual speed sensor in here. I had to go ahead and get my electronic speed sensor in here, and the manual one was very stuck in here, just like how my last transmission was when I got it. So I had to take the case apart, basically take a big old punch and just hit it from the inside with a hammer, and that's the only way I know how to get it loose. Last time I tried everything before I went to that method, as far as I welded a bolt to the little piece of metal that's in here on the manual speed sensors and put a slide hammer on that, and to no avail. So, new sensors, new seals in the transmission. I just got the engine off of the engine stand and onto the hoist. Getting ready to put it back in the car here. I have new motor mounts all around the car. Well, the two that I needed the most, here is the engine side one, one with the Prothane, and then rear trans mount. Not really going to be able to see it, but down there it's a Prothane rear mount. Didn't have black one in stock. Didn't want to pay 15 bucks extra from a different website for a black one, so I will deal with the red. This is a different distributor, since when I had the engine on the stand, I made the mistake of taking the pin out to rotate it and forgetting to put it back in, and went to do something and the whole engine took a digger, flipped to 180, and broke the distributor. It caught itself on something or another. The bolts, I had the bolts for this still in there, which took the brunt of the force, but it also just ever so slightly bent this front bolt on the distributor. And then later on, when I was like messing around with the distributor, I think I went to screw the bolt back in, put a little pressure on it, and this little tab broke right off. So had to swap a different distributor on here. Cleaned up some of the harness that I have on here and just threw in like a nicer wire looming versus what most of it was before, which is the, I don't even know what the heck you really call that, corrugated something or another stuff. So clean some of the harness up, new distributor. I have a new front main seal in here, and I also shimmed the oil pump with a small washer. So I should get some higher oil pressure at idle and really basically everywhere. Alright, so that's basically catching you guys all up to where I'm at here. I guess basically now I'll just go ahead and continue working. I gotta marry the transmission and the engine again. Well, first I have to install the flywheel, the clutch, so on and so forth, and then marry the transmission back up to this thing and put it in the car. Alright, so got the flywheel on, my resurfaced flywheel, throw a picture of that up. Got the Clutch Masters FX500 all attached. Flywheel torqued down to 70 foot-pounds per ARP with Loctite and red Loctite, and the pressure plate is torqued down to 22 foot-pounds per the factory service manual for Nissan, and I have blue Loctite on those. So everything there should be good to go. You can go ahead and pull the clutch disc centering pin thingy tool out, and I should be good to go ahead and attach the transmission. I also made sure I did not remember to put on, I can't remember what this plate is called right now, but did not forget that. One thing I'm going to go ahead and try that I have not done before is I took like a bolt and cut it down to kind of use as a centering pin for the transmission, so it should make lining everything up a lot easier. So like I said, just got to attach the transmission to the engine now, and I should be good to go. Okay, so as you can see, I have the transmission attached to the engine. It did actually make it a lot easier having like a bolt as like a guide bolt to put the transmission on. Got it on there first try, no issues. Definitely going to do that on every transmission I do for the rest of my life, because it's a great trick. So moving on from there, one thing I forgot to mention up until now is this engine, or this transmission rather, that I got. It's not welded back here, but it's like liquid nail filled or something along those lines. So it's not welded, but I'm sure that that will add stability or structuralness to this transmission, so that is cool. Time to get the engine back in the car. Alright, back in the garage. How's it going, everybody? It's been a while since a video, since anything's happened, but a lot of stuff's been going on kind of behind the scenes here. So this video is gonna catch everybody up as to where we are at. I do have some footage previously that will probably be right before this, so you'll kind of already be caught up to where we're at, but I've done a lot of work actually since all of that was filmed. So let's get to it.
Where do you go when your heart's with a fever? When she's cruel but you won't leave her. Oh, here we are, all the freaks and believers, all the sweet neon dreamers. Oh, my city.
we are back again. Another day. Yeah, so that should have gotten everybody caught up with just about everything that is gone on. Turbo manifold on, downpipes. Huge shout out to Derek. He is the one that I had make all of my turbo, basically new turbo setup. I cut and tacked together the two wastegate, or the wastegate dump and the downpipe. He welded those, but he did all the fabrication on the manifold, and it is beautiful. All right, put the flashlight down, the actual flashlight, turn on the flash on the iPhone here. Looks a little better. But yeah, I will throw some still pictures up on the screen in a second here, along with his Instagram. But definitely just huge shout out to him for doing an amazing job. For anybody that might be curious, he actually does have a jig to recreate this manifold, and it is actually for cars that have AC and power steering and all that jazz, and it'll clear a full-size radiator. Obviously, I have a setup that is in the way with my up pipe for the wastegate, but if you run the wastegate down, this is a setup that will work with a full stock setup, radiator, power steering, AC, like I said. But it came out great. Another thing I forgot to cover is I also had Derek over at TDO change my radiator setup here. He moved the port from right down there where you could see that little square. He blocked that one off for me and moved the port over to this right side here so that it's much easier straight shot up to the thermostat housing. And I'm also having him weld an extension piece straight down off the thermostat housing just to make the radiator hose routing a lot easier. That basically covers everything that went on in the engine bay. I saw the new turbo setup. I got new headlight tabs made for the headlights since I don't really have a radiator support anymore. It's basically good to go at this point. All I really need to start it is change up a few things on the wiring. I just wanted to redo a few things. I need to get a new fuel pump. I think the eBay one that I was running previously kind of was taking a crap on me, so I'm going to go ahead and get a new fuel pump. I need new injectors, and that is actually about it, just to do a startup on the Niztune. I am planning on getting Nismotronics, and kind of to go along with that setup, I'm going to need like a map sensor welded in somewhere. I'm going to go ahead, since that can do boost by gear, I am going to get like a boost solenoid so I can set that up when I go and have it tuned. And I think that'll probably be it that I'll need to get for that setup. Just two small little things, nothing really too crazy. But that'll be a little bit further down the line. I'll probably just get it driving, you know what I mean, a little bit around on the Niztune again. And then probably once summer hits, I'll switch over to the Nismotronic and have it tuned and then really see what it can do. So as you can see here, I do have a top feed fuel rail sitting in there. I picked this up off secondhand off Facebook Marketplace. It's a slightly older custom steel top feed fuel rail. I think it's an older one because if you go on G-Spec Performance or whatever it is website, the one they have listed on there now has a different design on it for the logo there. So I think it's a slightly older one, but got a good deal on that on the Facebook Marketplace. You can see there is some stuff missing on the top of my intake manifold there for the idle air control valve stuff. I'm going to go ahead and, this one actually doesn't go inside the intake manifold. This directly routes into this hole, so that one wouldn't matter. But I need to have this hole welded right there. I'm also going to be removing this bung right here, have that welded up. I shaved down the big knobs that were on the back of the intake manifold there just to clean it up a bunch. And there was another bung like this on the bottom side of it. I'm going to have that welded up also. So just cleaning up the intake manifold a little bit and making it a bit more appealing to the eye. Another thing I grabbed for the Sentra, I got a new steering wheel for it. Nothing really too crazy, just a nice simple suede steering wheel for the Sentra. Okay, so now that should be everything that I've gotten going on with the Sentra. Like I said, basically just need two more things. Need to grab some fuel injectors and a fuel pump, and I'll be ready to start on the new setup. Fuel injectors, fuel pump. I'm gonna need to do some new fuel lines here to get the fuel rail in there, but that's really nothing too crazy. Yeah, really excited for this setup. Definitely, I would say a large improvement from everything else I've ever ran as far as turboing anything. So, really excited for this year. Oh, and I guess I will show real quick. I did already cut the hole and make the shroud for the wastegate on the hood. So you can see that, and then I need to make a new shroud piece, but there's the turbo dump out the side of the fender. And I'm also going to have to go and block off the old hole that I still have in the bumper. But not a big deal. Alright, that's going to be it, everybody. Definitely make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and stay tuned for this thing this summer. Definitely stay tuned. I'll see everybody next time.